Hello, Americans. I'm Paul Harvey. You know what the news is. In a minute, you're going to hear the rest of the story. Now, the rest of the story. Charles ought never to have taken that jump, not that jump that way, and the talented young skier knew that now, lying alone and afraid in a hospital bed, paralyzed from the neck down. He had been selected to represent his college fraternity in an intramural ski jumping competition. He had practiced on that particular 90-foot run, but his turn had not come until nightfall, and the takeoff hill had frozen solid. Trying to appear confident, he had not tested the landing hill's speed, so he had rocketed off the lip treetop high, overshot the course, landed on his back, and the next thing he knew, frantic friends were transporting him by toboggan to the college infirmary. Charles had never been hospitalized before, had never been hurt so badly, had never imagined a lifetime of quadriplegia. And so, faced by unfaceable horrors, he went away, deep inside himself, to the place he loved best of anywhere, to the summit of a small mountain 1 mile north of Hanover, New Hampshire, called Oak Hill. For there, on the right winter night, a skier could watch the moon rise 3 times. He could wait on the mountaintop for the moon to come up in the east and then shush down the slope, losing the moon, then ski cross-country westward and wait for the moon to rise over the mountain, then ski down into the dark river valley and wait for the moon to peek over the rim, a triple moonrise any night. But with Charles, his limbs useless now, ever thrilled to see that again? Ever feel the gentle silence of the frosty night against his cheek? Ever wonder at the dark spruce silhouettes against the iridescent snow? He had been in trouble on skis before that fateful jump. Had gotten stranded once while flagging a 14-kilometer race. The temperature had dropped to 40 below. He had to dig himself a wind shelter to keep from freezing, but then he couldn't crawl out of the hole. And finally, fighting deadly drowsiness, he trampled a 30-foot path along which he ran and jumped to safety. Charles nearly died that day, but that was nothing compared to languishing in that hospital bed, not knowing what lay ahead, afraid to find out, and more afraid not to know. Worse still, the doctors seemed hardly to care. They had not discussed Charles' condition with him, much less attempted to comfort him. They had scarcely even visited his bedside, so deeper and deeper into depression the young man slipped. Until 4 days later, when his spinal concussion subsided, and his arms and legs began to move again. Yes, Charles fully recovered. And doing so, he resolved that when he became a doctor, he would never let those in his care lie lonely and frightened somewhere. For once upon an icy mishap in the winter of 1934, there was a pre-med student at Dartmouth with a passion for skiing and an even greater passion for mending body and spirit. It has been said that Charles, later United States Surgeon General C. Everett Koop, was a healer with a heart. That is so. And now you know the rest of the story.